Damn, that backdrop is sick.
You like that?
Yeah, man.
How you doing?
All good. Sitting
Like,
down, burn one here in a few after we're all done. See
I'm
you are
gonna,
prepared.
yeah, I'm gonna burn one during if you don't mind.
Yeah, no problem.
So, are you home? I guess, huh?
Yeah, literally for 3 more hours.
That sounds about right. You guys have been busy. Jackson and I were just talking about how busy you guys are.
Yeah, man, it's been pretty crazy. I had shows in Cleveland and Detroit this weekend, and then I had to come home to Jersey to have a studio session last night, and now I'm flying out to Des Moines tonight. So,
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
uh,
What do you think of the new bus? You like it?
uh I like it. It made it 48 hours. It's already broken down in a tow yard. So
Really?
I'm not sure what the status of that bus is, but it
He
was
was so
nice.
proud, man. He was so proud.
I mean, I stay out of that. I just ride when they say it's time.
That's right. That's right. Honeymoon Fest went well, man.
Dude, I can't believe how much fun we ended up having. I know obviously there's things to improve on for next year, but the press was nice, and obviously we had a blast together, and
Oh
I hope
yeah.
we get to do it again.
Yeah, she's there. I've talked to Leah already and she's ready for next year.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys stuck around. You guys hanging out and the guys from Saliva hanging out, I think really kind of, it was cool to be able for them to be able to hang out. And
I wish we could have got more time to hang. It's just we had like something like a 22-hour drive back, so we kind of got a little jump on it. But
now, I hate to almost hate to bring this up, but I don't. The meet and greet didn't turn out real great there, did it?
of course not.
Yeah,
I was like, people had to jog like what to the next town over to get to the. So I mean,
yeah.
no disrespect to the event because that's not what I'm saying at
Oh
all.
no,
But
no, no, no. It was just it wasn't a turnout that people had more luck catching you at the show because hell, you guys wandered around and were listening to music. So
yeah, we do a good job in mingling.
yeah, it was a fun time though, man. Yeah, they took care of the artists well, and
Sure did.
so we sat back there in that tent, and I don't know. I think like four of us kind of just sat around while you ate, pretty much, but it was it was a pretty good time.
Like I had such a hard time eating because it was like smoke a joint, eat some brisket, smoke a joint, finish brisket.
Dude, that's kind of been our thing for this whole fucking summer so far. If I run into tantric, it's usually going to be food and joints.
Yeah, man, it's the way we do it.
That's a good relationship to have with you guys.
Sure is.
So, looks like 2022 is shaping up pretty busy for Heaven's Edge too.
Yeah, man. We have M3 coming up here in a few weeks, which has been on the book since last year. We had to cancel last year due to some health stuff going on within the band. And so this year we were really excited to do that. And then we got some other news that we had some work to do, which I can't really come out and say. But we were in the studio last night cooking some stuff up, and hopefully we can talk more about that in the next month or so. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, we're working really hard, and everybody's having a great time. And it's
Now, how are the two bands in comparison? Is it a kind of similar feel for you, or do you have to like put on a different hat?
for between Tantric and Heaven's Edge.
Yeah.
Totally different, man. Heaven's Edge is much more 80s inspired rock. It's a little more upbeat. It's a little bit more playing going on, and some definite moves and things like that in the live show that definitely vary. But it's nice, man, because I come from that background of the 80s and 70s hard rock. So for me, it's kind of like scratching that sweet spot. But as far as Tantra goes, man, I mean, obviously that's a whole different beast, and a whole different vibe. It's a lot less complicated in terms of, the show is, we just rock out. It's real raw. But the Heaven's Edge thing, man, it's nice. It gives me a little boost of energy and, something else to work towards. So my brain's always kind of, churning for the next thing.
Did you grow up in Jersey?
I did, and mainly PA in my teen years. My mom had moved to Pennsylvania here, right outside of Philadelphia. I'm actually in Downingtown, and my dad's still in Jersey though. And I grew up Jersey proud, man, with all the great bands that came from there. And
Yeah.
there's a certain grind and pace of the East Coast that unless you're from here or spend a lot of time here, people don't realize. But it's very fast and it's very work oriented, and so I credit a lot of the things that I've done over the years to that mindset.
Right, right. And with two bands that are so different, it's probably the same thing. You got to be kind of firing on all cylinders all the time.
Yeah, man, I'm always juggling something. If it's not one of those two, it's always another project or recording thing. And
Yeah, yeah. You said that you were brought up with the 70s and 80s metal sound. Was that your folks into that?
yeah, definitely. I mean, my dad exposed me to all the greats, everything from Sabbath to Yngwie and things like that. And once I got, past the basics, which obviously like Skid Row and the bigger bands, I started to do my own homework.
Yeah.
I was big into thrash growing up, man. I was a thrash and death metal to an extent, the classics. But um, as I got older, I kind of started leaning more towards melodic stuff and somehow found myself in this weird thing. But I love anybody that can rip it up and good players. And that's kind of like, what I strive to aim
Yeah.
to.
Yeah. You seem like you're pretty diverse and you're, just the stuff I've heard you play, let alone what you probably do at home when you're just dicking around.
Sure, yeah.
So when did you first pick up the bass?
I think around 15 or so. My dad played back in the 70s and had a bass laying around in the attic. And it wasn't until I started seeing some of my friends in high school, like playing
Yeah.
Slayer songs and stuff, I was like, geez, man, you guys can play this? And then I thought, well, as like a little skater boy and like hearing all these bands and stuff through all the videos and being exposed to all the music, I said, maybe it's something that I could also do, as a huge fan and going to concerts all the time. I might as well start spending my time being a part of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my dad at some point brought the bass down from the attic and I started plugging away. And then next thing I knew, I had one. And by the time I was like 17 or so, I had my first thrash band and we were touring and doing the whole thing, man. It was quite a fast thing, but I learned quick.
How much did that help you prepare for, I mean, the struggle there? It probably seems crazy compared to, well, granted, your bus is in the tow yard right now, so maybe not.
Reliable transportation as teenagers, believe it or not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
man.
nice when you can rely on your parents, huh?
Not even, man. When we were kids, well, to an extent, when we were kids, I was the second oldest in the band, and two of the members in my thrash band were younger. And one of the guys, my drummer John, his father had a limousine business, and they had a few vans.
Oh,
So
yeah.
when it came time to tour, his dad gifted him a van as his first vehicle. And so I don't even know if he was old enough to drive it at that point, but two of us were. So
Right.
we were touring
Oh,
East Coast, the South, down to Texas. When we were 17, 18, without GPS, we were map questing it, playing basement shows. Oh, I'm so sorry. Hold on.
don't worry about it. Mine's probably going to do it before long, too.
And yeah, man. So I cut my teeth young playing heavy stuff in the basements and house parties. And now, all these years later, touring with a national band, it's really not much different other than we get nice hotels and bigger shows and we actually get paid. And
That's nice, too, isn't it?
yeah, for sure. But, there's something about that early experience and the spirit back then that set it up. I spent a lot of years in between not touring. And when it finally came back to doing it, I felt like I was just that much more prepared, and everything that was happening on a larger scale was just, more of a reward than it was a job, because I'm so used to doing it at such a small level.
Doing it for nothing, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm still hungry for it, though, man. I still love every second of
Right.
it.
It's obvious in your show, man. Your live show. You're fun to watch. You're fun to photograph. It's just your show shows that you still have that taste for it, for sure. Walking backstage and seeing you get all suited up for your show, man. I would love to have had a picture. I wouldn't do that to you, but I would love to have had a picture of that. You just look so vulnerable at that time that I walked around the corner.
Yeah, man. I had just gotten that jacket thing that day, and
it looks
I
good.
could barely get it on. She's like yanking it on me. I'm like,
yeah, that's right. When I walked around was when she was yanking it down. I was like, oh man. I was like, dude, I wish I had my camera.
It's all good, man. It's part of the game.
But hell, from Houston on, I've run into you a few times this year. I'm going to see you again with Tantric at that festival in Pennsylvania, I believe.
Yeah, man, that's close to home for me.
Oh, it's a little haul for me, but I got a lot of friends that are going to be playing, so it'll be cool.
we'll have a good time. I just met the organizer at our show last week in Pennsylvania, and he's super excited and seems like he has it all together. So
Cool.
I expect a fun time, that's for sure.
Have you had any that just kind of fell apart on you and you were like, what in the fuck are we doing here?
It's tantric, man. Of course we.
If not, you guys kind of.
Yeah, I mean,
Your own.
they do, man. We just kind of show up and do our part, and if stuff is off the rails or falling apart, as long as we can perform, I think that's what we came there to do.
Yeah.
So obviously no fault, but yeah, of course we run into all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, I've just in my short time of being on the road with bands, I've run into some pretty interesting things. You'd be amazed what people will present to you as a venue sometimes.
Sure. We see it
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. So what you got coming up that you're looking forward to? Anything exciting?
Yeah, man. I got my next 3 weeks are just chaos right now, which a lot of the travel has to do with. April 30th, we're launching the Life Project live debut, which is a project that my girlfriend Cassandra Carson from Paralandra and Josh Rand from Stone Sour. They've been working on this for 2 years and have released a few EPs and singles and such. And now it's time to put the live show together. And I've been blessed to have been asked to be a part of it. So we are deep in the middle of rehearsals for that. And I'll be in Des Moines tomorrow and until the 30th, pretty much working on that, with the exception of next weekend, we have some tantric gigs. So kind of going there, driving into the gigs, driving back. So we have that. We have 2 tantric shows next week. We have Rockford, Illinois and Columbus, Ohio at the King of Clubs. Back to Des Moines, and then we have the Life Project's debut April 30th at the Riff in Springfield, Missouri. And then the week after that is M3 Festival, which is the huge 80s event down in Maryland. So I've been going to that, man, since it started over 10 years ago. I think this is the 10th or 11th year. And so I've only missed a few, being on the road some of those years I missed. But to finally be able to play it, I mean, you have no idea what it means to me. And
That's awesome.
To do it with a fairly local band to the area, an East Coast band, it's going to be really hitting close to home. So super excited.
Oh yeah, that's awesome, man. Where is it in Maryland? What
Merriweather Post Pavilion in, I think they call it Columbia, or it's close to Frederick, Maryland, but they do it there every year. It's a big outdoor amphitheater, and it's 3 days. I mean, it's
a festival.
Yeah, man. Every year they had a killer lineup, so
cool.
Nice to be a part of it.
You guys are part of all kinds of cool now you got the other band jumping into the mix too, man. You're getting to be with a lot of cool people.
It's a lot to juggle, and they're all on different ends of the spectrum. So it's like, with tantric, you get, all the salivas and, everything within that last 20 years.
Yeah.
Heaven's Edge, you get everything from the 80s and beyond.
20 years before that, yeah.
This new one, man, is going to put us with a lot of modern bands. So I feel like the kid in the candy shop.
So what do you do anything to like unwind and get away from music for a little bit? And
I never get away from music, man. Sadly, I guess some people could say that sounds horrible, but honestly, I love it.
Not if that's what you want, but yeah. What do you do to get away from the tour life and the band scene and all that?
Well, with tantric, we're always on tour, and so it is difficult to do other things on the downtime. But the only way to really escape it is to burn one down and plug in some headphones and work on something else. I always have my laptop, and I'm always in a session or tracking for another project. So my way of getting away from touring with tantric or whatever it might be is to be playing or rehearsing for something else.
Yeah, well, and having different genres to touch into it's not doing the same job over and over again. It's what I mean.
Exactly, it keeps a fresh approach from the
flavor. Yeah. Oh yeah, man. You don't want that fruit stripe gum fucking lifestyle.
Nah, of course not.
You want it to last and then switch it up. Yeah, I dig it though. It makes sense, and it makes sense. Knowing you, it really makes sense that you would just always be into it.
Yeah, man.
Where did the Life Project come from?
The band or the name?
Name.
That's a good question. Josh came up with it, and he doesn't really want to tell people what it stands for because it's an acronym, but I think it's more of a interpreted.
Yeah.
So You'll have to follow up with Josh at some point and see if he'll answer it for you.
I will. I'll show up in the green room until he does.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I operate, man.
Yeah, man. So yeah, those three things have me pretty busy this year. I know we're getting ready to do another album with this other group I record with and sometimes tour with called Delacoma out of Australia.
Oh yeah.
And I did the album with them last year called Blood, and it's killer, man. It's just high energy rock. And
Australia's got some badass metal coming out of it. I mean,
yeah, man.
The people there love it. They thirst for it.
Yeah, it's that one's different too, man. It's not like any of the other albums I've done. It might be my favorite album I've been a part of so far. It's just got some raunchy tones and killer players involved and some cool songs. So it looks like we might be gearing up for album. Well, I shouldn't say album number 2 because he's got a few, but this will be the next record this year. So when I can find the time to plug in, I'll start getting to work on that.
Oh yeah, dude. Make sure you send me links on all this stuff. I want to.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I check it out.
Sure. Yeah. And
we get stuff every once in a while, you know.
yeah, for sure. Me too. It's all right.
But yeah, and all the acts are on social media, all the platforms, YouTube, and all that stuff.
Yeah, man. The Life Project, Delacoma, Heaven's Edge, Tantric. By the time summer comes, I may even have some more stuff to talk about. Kind of got some stuff on the back burner.
If you don't. Amazed if you don't.
Yeah, man. I'm just at a place now where I love everything that I'm doing, and I love connecting with the fans. And the more things I take on, the more people I'm connecting with. So I'm kind of just eating it up as it comes.
Hell yeah, man. Well, I'm glad you're having fun, and it seems to be suiting you. The fans out there love you, and you seem like you're having a blast. So I'm happy.
Thanks. I appreciate you taking the time to chat.
Absolutely, man. If you want to catch up again here in a few months, after summertime, and I know you won't be not busy, but if you can slide a half hour out to talk to me, maybe we'll catch up again.
Of course.
Awesome, man. Well, I will be in touch. Like I said, if I don't see you before then, I'll see you in Pennsylvania, I think. And
it's only a few weeks out.
It's coming up. What is the date on that?
I think it's May 20th, 21st. It might be 2 days, it might be one. I don't know. We'll be there the 21st.
Yeah, right on. Hell yeah, man. We'll catch up and we'll party.
All right, man. Looking forward to it.
All right. Well, hey, take care. Tell everybody I said hey, and I will talk to you soon.
Will do, bro. Peace.
Later.